Let's talk about time horizons in investing. I got the excellent comment on one of my PRCH group videos, so we will read that comment in relation to time horizons, and then I have 3 different examples that will tie into this topic. It will be a bit of a personal finance question in this case, and one that a lot of beginner investors will have. Alright, so the comment in question here states: questions. First-time investors. One of the many companies I'm looking to invest in is PRCH Group for so many reasons. My question would be, if I buy the stock now, how hard would it be to sell them in February or June? I'm not looking to be a long-term stockholder. I'm looking to flip my money to buy land or agriculture. Based on my research, that's their peak season, right? So a bunch of questions in this. In terms of the first part, just answering it literally, as long as the company is not bankrupt, you will be able to sell those shares in February or June in all likelihood, given that there's a high liquidity in the stock, there's a lot of buying and selling going on. And what I think that the commenter in this case means, like the spirit of the question is, all right, will I be able to sell this with a profit? Will I be able to do a quick flip because I've done this research, I looked, I see, all right, this is peak season for the insurance sector or the housing sector or whatever trend that has been looked at in this analysis. And indeed, there is less storms in this part of the year, and it's positive for the insurance segment, and we've seen the company comment themselves that they will have a positive adjusted EBITDA for these 2 quarters. So with all that in mind, it can be extremely tempting to try to make a quick flip, try to make a quick buck. Let's look at implications of this, because in a lot of cases, the investments that we make do not pan out exactly as we plan them. As a matter of fact, in a lot of cases, the stock goes down, 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 then it might go up a lot when we're eventually right in these type of smaller investments, or we are wrong and the company continues to perform worse and the stock eventually hits 0, like in the cases of Bed Bath and Beyond, for example. We saw a lot of investors wanting to jump in. Do I think that this will be the case for PRCH Group? Most likely not, in my opinion, given that Matt Ehrlichman has spent 10 years building this company, a large shareholder. I think he's fighting very hard and is very knowledgeable in the business of insurance and software for house inspection. So I think that indeed the odds are in the favor of success. However, we never can be certain. A lot of events that are out of our control can happen. Storms can come in and cause a huge amount of insurance claims. We could see the housing market continuing to be frozen with extremely few sales, and if no properties are changing hand, well, then we're not going to need home inspection software to look at the property and take pictures on the state of things, right? These are things that are bad for business. We never know. And just to exemplify this, I have 3 examples. One from me, one from a famous investor in a book I like, and one from popular media culture. So in my case, I invested in a shipping company and they lost a contract in Indonesia. So that's why I bought in a lot. The stock didn't really do anything, and even when they got a new contract, because the shipping market was very hot at that time in Brazil, the stock still didn't go ballistic. It took 6 months for me to be able to cash in those chips at a level that I thought was good. So a quick buck turned into having to wait 6 months for that sweet return. It was worth it in the end. However, if I had planned to, let's say, flip it quickly and buy a property, well, then I would have to have cashed in early. That would not have been good. The stock was down, in fact, in the beginning when I was waiting on this. And as I stated before, some stocks, they go the route of Bed Bath and Beyond. They just go to 0, and bad things can happen in business. So that's worth having in mind as well. The second example is from Peter Lynch. He bought a holding company and he calculated that the company is held in this holding company was worth a lot more than the mother company. And in his calculations, everything made sense. Just as in my example, the stock continued to go down from this point, but then he bought more because he believed in his investment thesis, and eventually he was able to cash in when the company broke up and spun off individual companies as, you know, standalone stocks. That was a huge gain for him and the Magellan Fund. The third example from popular culture is that filmatized in the movie The Big Short, where Michael Burry invests. He shorts the housing market back in 2008, believing he's very right, it's going to happen very soon. But as we saw in the movie, if you've seen it, he had to keep paying premiums on his short position for a lot longer than expected. His clients were quite angry with him over the email. Eventually he was able to cash in, but it took a lot longer than expected. So tying back to this question, you know, I'm just a guy on YouTube. I have no idea if it's right for you to try to flip or not. The only person who can make that decision is you as a viewer. You know the risks, you know the potential rewards, and if not, you know, do more due diligence. However, there's always risks and reward in investing, and that decision will have to be made, you know, based on individual situations. If, you know, you want to buy a property, you really need it, you can't wait, well, of course, then that weighs in as well. And if you're in a situation where, yeah, it doesn't matter if I buy now or if I buy in 3 or 5 years, I can afford to wait, well, then the equation is very different once again. So these are the questions we all ask ourselves in personal finance, the risks we take in our own lives with our own investments. And do we get rewarded? Maybe. Do we lose our money? Maybe. That is what is making investment so exciting. Anyways, that's been it for this video, and as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.